Some of the ancient Greek Guide to Learning, Feeding and Cultivating Your Mind. Charles Sarpong. My Life's Thesis. Act Based on Wisdom. Act Based on Wisdom 2019. Some of the ancient Greek philosophers called the point of life, eudaimonia. It's commonly translated as happiness, but I believe a more accurate translation would be fittingness, how well your actions match your gifts, match who you are from Walking on Water, by Parik Jensen. Keywords: psyche to breathe, function, wisdom, virtue, divine state, and protection. How to find a function, talent, dream, job, work, hobby. One must previously be pregnant with its wisdom, and crave to give birth to it. In other words, one cannot acquire knowledge of anything without being primarily in love with this knowledge. Thus, if a student wants to draw any knowledge of love from a theoretical description similar to that of Diotima, he/she must know love primarily in an empirical way. He/she must be in love with the knowledge of love. You can replace knowledge of love with any hobby, for example knowledge of teaching, knowledge of computer programming, etc. Empirical, concern with and conclude based on experiment and observation as opposed to theory. Keywords: experiment, observation, concern, and conclude. Wisdom associated with the form of good like the sun. Act based on wisdom. Defined in many different ways. Out of these, phronesis and Sophia are two key subtypes of wisdom. Phronesis refers to practical knowledge or seeking knowledge to apply to a given circumstance, such as an understanding of people, objects, events, situations, and the willingness as well as the ability to apply perception, judgment, and action. Sophia, transcendent wisdom, or the ultimate nature of reality or truth. Wisdom, a right judgment to think and act, allow us to see or perceive. Socrates on Hypatia's life, self-possession of manner, which she acquired in consequence of the cultivation of her mind, on account of her extraordinary dignity and virtue. Socrates. Memory is the scribe of the soul, Aristotle. 11 secrets to memorize things quicker than others. 1. Try to understand logic, use tables. 2. Learn most necessary information. 3. Serial position effects, the key parts at beginning and end. 4. Switch attention, rest. 5. Learn opposite things, for example day and night. 6. Build mind power or imagination. 7. Use nail words or related things, make stories. 8. Form connections. 9. Use recorder and listen. 10. Visualize or use body language. 11. Choose best materials. Act based on wisdom. Rules for memorizing. Short term: 1 SC repetition right, after learning. 2 NE repetition, after 15, 20 minutes. 3 road repetition, after 6, 8 hours. 4 teach repetition, after 24 hours. Long term: 1 SC repetition right, after learning. 2 NE repetition, after 20, 30 minutes. 3 road repetition, after 1 day. 4 teach repetition, after 2, 3 weeks. 5 teach repetition, after 2, 3 months. How to study. Read, say, record, write, say, record, listen, say, repeat, scan, say, and repeat, listen, say, scan, say, listen, say, read, write, think, write. Why listening? Because it enables one to sense good sense. Why reading? Because it enables one's understanding. Why writing? Because it enables one to say things clearly. Why examination by reasoning or questioning? Because it enables one to see truth. Why saying? Because it enables one to memorize or remember. Act based on wisdom. Activities: morning. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Rise early. First thing is meditation or seek clarity by examination, for example Finnish language, computer programming, or internet marketing. Activity: listen and memorize with certain tone. Review all actions of previous day. How to decide major task for day: learn, work, cook, finance, friends is to ask, what do I need for today? Is it important and useful? Plan for the coming day in full detail. Learn, for example, activities on Finnish language, computer programming, or internet marketing. Work, cook, finance, friends. Activities on learning and career may involve prepping Q and A, writing, recording, listening, reading, scanning, saying and thinking, etc. After breakfast, solidarity walk, the only me, to render soul calm, sedate, and harmonize reasoning powers. Work or gym, a daily exercise, for the body is the temple of the soul, and should be kept in a condition worthy of the divine occupant. Implement the plan for the day, a morning task. Afternoon. Dining with fam or friends or at home, bread and honey, veggies, fruits. Study moral disciplines, to know the difference between right and wrong. Try to do what is right, because it's right to do so, righteousness. Receive or talk to relatives and friends. Walk in company of others. Implement the plan for the day or afternoon task. Act based on wisdom. Super, evening, eat super. Implement plan for the day, evening task. Meditation, day's examination. Quote, never suffer sleep to close thy eyelids, after they going to bed, till thou hast examined by reason all thy actions for the day. Wherein have I done amiss? What have I omitted that I ought to have done? If in this examination thou findest that thou hast done amiss, reprimand thyself severely for it. And if you have done good, rejoice. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want, and in peace and quiet of the night fall asleep. If you meet one of these failures on the street, do not greet him, or in any way indicate that I had once known him, her. His body appears among men, but his soul is dead, let us weep for that. Discipline, silence, music, physical and moral purification, rigid cleanliness, mild asceticism, utter loyalty, common possessions, pure linen clothes, daily self-examination, self-control. Act based on wisdom. Timetable, the second example. Morning, rise early. Prepare, for example, Finnish language exam and other exam. Listen, write, say or read. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Plan normal daily task. Breakfast and walk outside. Exercise or work. Implement the day's plan a morning. Study, do assignments, for example Finnish language, computer programming, internet marketing. Translate to write and say from English to Finnish. Read and say. Prep questions. Afternoon, dining at public places or with friends. Study moral discipline, write and say, read and say, and prep questions. Implement the day's plan of afternoon. Normal daily task, check bills, business or work. Act based on wisdom. Evening, super. Implement the day's plan, evening. Read aloud. Meditation or examination, prep questions. Listen to wise words on certain tone based on what you want. Plan for coming day in full detail, for example activities on Finnish language as Step 1, morning, pick a good book, and scan or record, 1 hour. Step 2, the afternoon, writing or transcribe most necessary information, 2 hours. Step 3, the afternoon, prepping Q and search and find, 2 hours. Step 4, the evening, recording what I wrote, the transcribed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hour. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q and involve reading, saying, scanning, listening, 2 hours. Step 6, morning, writing the transform the transcribed, 2 hours. Step 7, afternoon, recording the transformed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hours. Step 8, afternoon, make own cue, and 2 hours. Step 9, evening, put into practice, e.g. speaking, listening, writing, 2 hours. Act based on wisdom. Plan for coming day in full detail, for example act. On computer programming, Step 1, morning, pick a good book, and scan or record, 2 hours. Step 2, the afternoon, writing the transcribe most necessary information, 1 hour. Step 3, the afternoon, prepping Q and search and find, 2 hours. Step 4, the evening, recording what I wrote, the transcribed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hours. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q and involve reading, saying, scanning, listening or writing codes, 2 hours. Step 6, morning, writing the transform the transcribed, 2 hours. Step 7, afternoon, recording the transformed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hours. Step 8, afternoon, make own Q and 2 hours. Step 9, evening, put into practice e.g. coding, designing, writing requirement, 2 hours. Plan for coming day in full detail, for example act. On internet marketing, the step 1, morning, pick a good book and scan or record, 2 hour. Step 2, the afternoon, writing the transcribe most necessary information, 1 hour. Step 3, the afternoon, prepping Q and search and find, 2 hours. Step 4, the evening, recording what I wrote, the transcribed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hours. Step 5, evening, recording prepped Q and involve reading, saying, scanning, listening, 2 hours. Step 6, morning, writing the transform the transcribed, 2 hours. Act based on wisdom. Step 7, afternoon, recording the transformed, involve reading, saying, listening, 2 hours. Step 8, afternoon, make own Q and 2 hours. Step 9, evening, put into practice e.g. marketing, creating content, philosophy, 2 hours. Quote: learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, memorize, transcribe, and transform. Pythagoras. Learn to be silent. Let your quiet mind listen and absorb. Pythagoras. The so-called Pythagoreans, who were the first to take up mathematics, not only advanced this subject, but saturated with it. They fancied that the principles of mathematics were the principles of all things. Aristotle. Wisdom, thoroughly learned, will never be forgotten. Pythagoras. Questions. 1. What are the 11 secrets to memorize things quicker than others? 2. What are the rules for memorizing? 3. Why writing? 4. Why listening? 5. Why saying? 6. Why reading? Act based on wisdom. 7. Why examination by reasoning the questioning? 8. What are the major disciplines in this book? How to stay focused when you have too many ideas. 1. Know what you want. 2. Choose one thing and commit. 3. Get a little help from friends. 4. Assign a due date. Focus is saying no to 1,000 good ideas, is Steve Jobs. Quick ways to improve your attention span. Meditate. Exercise. Stay hydrated. Ask questions. Listen to music. Drink tea. Take notes by hand. Chew gum. How to do things faster. Do twice as much work as you currently do. Schedule your day. Wake up earlier. Move twice as fast. Act based on wisdom. Listen to audiobooks and watch all videos on 2x speed. Learn to load the phone and email. Double your energy. Virtues: prudence, justice, temperance, courage, faith, hope, gratitude, charity. Psyche: to breathe. Platonic soul consists of 3 parts. 1. Nous, reason, intellect, wisdom, for example practical knowledge, Sophia, i.e. the controlling part which should regulate appetites with the help of passion. 2. Thumos, spiritedness, passion, virtue, vice, for example courage, fear. 3. Epithumia, a desire, appetite, bodily, for example food, drink, sex, money, power. Quote: and what, Socrates, is the food of the soul? Surely, I said, knowledge is the food of the soul, Plato. Act based on wisdom. Knowing others is wisdom, knowing the self is enlightenment. Mastering others requires force, mastering the self requires strength. He who knows he has enough is rich. Perseverance is a sign of will power. Lao Tzu. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. Activity to memorize, learn and answer questions. Part 1. A reflection process. 1. Choose best materials, i.e. things with facts, truth, common sense. 2. Feelings. Try to understand logic or listening, reading, note-taking or what is something, what is along the way, who introduced it, when example time, place. Evaluation. Importance, benefit, reason, analyze, premise and conclusions, learn most necessary information as synonyms. 3. Switch attention, rest. The above and below are the process of acquiring wisdom and understanding the good sense and enlightenment. Part 2. Action planning. 4. Build mind power. Find examples, pictures, videos, concept map, mind map. 5. Learn opposite things, for example day and night. To 6. Form connections. Act based on wisdom. Example of related ideas and concepts. 7. Visualize, explain by writing, saying with expressions, use image, videos. 8. Use recorder and listen. 9. Repetition. 10. Stay focused, learn fast and use quick ways. Reflection process consists of description, what is something, what is along the way, who introduced it, when example time, place, feelings, intuition, being inner knowledge, in memory aligned with reason, evaluation, value of something or how can something be improved, analysis, how things fit together, and how are they related, conclusion, rewrite original statement or opinion containing central idea, but with different words, refer back to an important facts, leave your reader or listener with a bang impact. Memory retrieval. 1. Cues recognizing is easier than recalling. 2. Depth of processing helps in explicit memory tasks. 3. Associations. 4. Expertise improves memory. Act based on wisdom. Well-organized knowledge. Structure, vivid visual images. Reorganizing material during learning.